Hello everybody and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. Now what do we have in store for you on today's program? Well, we have the beautiful Boikanyo Phenyo, who's a model trainer and recently nominated for an African Achievers Award for Women's Empowerment. So we'll be interviewing her later on. We also have our fitness tip from the lovely Jane Wrafter. I'll revisit one of my challenges, and also we have the very lovely Teresa Gregoire, who's going to be having some makeup tips for us as she does each week. But first of all, we have, I call them the dynamic duo because I really do think they are. We have Helen Ashard and also Ian Pelham-Turner. Hello.
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 How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
We're bouncing as usual.
You're bouncing. Now
Lots of news.
You've got lots of news for us, have you? Okay.
We
Interesting
have.
stuff that we haven't heard anywhere else, as
Absolutely.
usual.
Yeah. I think we're starting a royal footing.
Okay.
Duke and Duchess and Prince George still going down a storm in New Zealand.
Wow.
Everyone's loving having them around, and there's loads of photo calls and everything. The Duke and Duchess as well recently have been racing in on their yachts, and actually the Duchess has won.
Really?
2-0. So
Maybe he'll let her win, do you think? Or do you think she's better?
I think she's very competitive. I think she's a
Oh.
good sports person, very good at obviously steering boats and things.
Yeah.
So that's great news. And they went to a wonderful unveiling of the Queen. I think it was last night, and she was wearing a wonderful Jenny Packham black dress with ferns in silver on the shoulder, which is the emblem of New Zealand. So everyone
she
loved
must
that.
look
It's a very,
fantastic.
very special dress.
That was a nice touch, wasn't it?
Very special, yeah.
And the
Wow.
Prime Minister of New Zealand came out with quite a revelation last night, because there's been a lot of talk that they're actually going to sort of turn it into some sort of non-royal situation anymore. And he said, no, he said he's hoping that both Charles and William will still be reigning monarchs for
I
New
think
Zealand.
so. They will absolutely. I think
Yeah.
I can't believe it will be any different.
Oh. Well, they've obviously made an impact over there, haven't they?
They have a huge impact. Huge
Okay.
impact.
And we have also a story about Copacabana Beach.
Oh,
And it's,
Beautiful.
there?
all happening, and this is a story that any news presenter, any television presenter also has to be concerned about in the future. So the first bit about the first bit about Copacabana Beach is that David Beckham was there last month, and he saw this house overlooking Copacabana Beach, and he's bought it.
Oh, he fell in love with it, did he?
He fell in love with it,
Yeah.
and he spent £250,000. And within a month, the value of all the properties around there
Can you
have
imagine,
gone
can't you?
quadrupled.
Oh, gosh.
They've gone up
I mean,
fourfold.
250,000 for an amazing house overlooking that beach. Wow.
Is he just going there just because of the World Cup?
He's going up because of the World Cup.
And
but
then afterwards he's come, like, he's just going to
Absolutely.
stay there and then, okay.
Absolutely.
Well, some people can
However,
afford to do that.
that's not the television story.
Oh, right.
So we
yes.
think, and we're not totally certain, but we think Record TV, which is the parent company to my channel, was involved in an incident of their own this week.
Oh, what happened?
They were doing a feature on street robbery on Copacabana Beach and the area besides. And this lady had come up and they were doing vox pops. Vox pops are street interviews of people. And they started doing this vox pop for this person. And then this street robber came up and grabbed the necklace
No, you're joking.
of the person being interviewed.
That's not very clever when you're filming, is it?
No,
really?
being interviewed. So, they'll listen to this bit. So then the presenter dropped the microphone and went running after the thief.
Oh gosh, there must have some great footage there.
So they've got some
Did
great...
they catch the thief?
So, no, apparently not.
No.
Apparently got away in the
I'm
crowd.
sure they will, though. They will at some
Well, yeah,
point.
they've got-
Of course,
they've
they've
got
got evidence, haven't they?
So it's a lesson to any TV presenter to wear their trainers when they're doing a story like
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Just in
Especially in
case.
Brazil, right?
Just in case things
Very
go
dangerous there.
slightly wrong.
Okay, now before we continue with some more news, Ian, it's your favourite part of the show.
Absolutely.
Which is, of
Get
course, the
yourself
fitness
ready.
tip with Jane.
Where's my headband?
With Jane Wrafter, so let's take a look at this.
Hi everyone, I'm Jane, and in our top fitness tips today I'm going to show you two fantastic exercises to tone up your bum. Okay, you know, diet is great. If you want to lose weight and look good, that's fabulous. But you know what? No amount of diet will give you a nice shape to your bum and a nice firm bum. Only exercise can do that. So I really recommend that you start these now in time for summer and you'll really see a difference. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of things. First thing is you lie down on your side and bend your bottom knee, put your top hand on the floor. And then you lift your leg up. Now you really squeeze into the top side here, leg and bum. Then you bring your knee down to the floor, let your pelvis roll forwards a little bit, and then push through your heel and lower. Now I am actively and deliberately putting some strength and intensity into the glute muscle there. So I'm pressed through the heel. A great visualization is just pretend that you're pushing up against a brick wall, sliding your leg down it and lifting up. And you should really feel this muscle start to work. This is a really great exercise. So I'm going to show you one more, second one of the two. So you need to lie on your back for this one. And you start with your knees bent and your arms by your side, okay? And then what you do is you tilt your pelvis and you lift yourself up to a shoulder bridge. Now this is a Pilates shoulder bridge position. Make sure that you're not like this. Try not to let your rib cage pop. Keep your ribs nice and flat. Tuck your pelvis under and squeeze your bum. And you can lift and lower, lift and lower. Squeeze all the time. And for advanced people who don't have back problems, don't do this if you have a back problem. Just stick to this one if I were you. If you want to work a little bit harder, you can lift one leg in the air, keep your hips level, and then lower and lift. And what happens now is all my body weight is sitting in one side of my bum instead of two, so it's harder. You probably only want to do a few on each side because I can really feel this, but it's a great butt strengthener. So get stuck into your glute exercises, everyone. Enjoy them, and I'll see you next time.
So there you have it, how to get a toned bum. So we should try those, Helena, shouldn't we?
Yes.
It was a stunned silence.
I didn't even look at you.
You weren't referring to me, were you?
I do. I'm going to master those
Perfectly honed.
exercises. Let you know how we get on. In fact, we should be doing them in the studio.
Yeah, we will. We're going to get Jen in one day soon because I've missed her. We can do the exercises together.
Get us going. That's good. A fun story, well, bizarre story really. A Chinese bee collector who makes honey and various things decided to beat his world record of making a bee coat.
Oh gosh.
And I know, isn't it mad? Completely mad. So covered himself completely in honey, completely stood there, and masses and masses of bees swarmed around him. Roughly 7.5 stones worth of bees all around him. Completely mad, but anyway, I don't know what possesses people. Obviously, absolutely loves bees. I mean,
don't you have anything better to do? Don't you just want to go for a coffee or something? Why do you have to get a coat made of bees? It's just like, it doesn't make sense. And it was, he's in Chongqing actually, which is where myself and Ian are going shortly with our exhibition, The Royal Child. So that's what made me think, oh, okay. I'm going
Maybe
to
we should go and visit him.
Yes, and I'll come with you.
Yes, you can.
Or to see one of the exhibitions.
Trust me, we will not be trying on the bees coat.
Absolutely not.
It's not in our contract. And something else that's going to be released very shortly now is a new boy band called The Vamps.
The Vamps.
The Vamps are actually said to be the next big thing. They actually backed Taylor Swift in her recent concerts in London. Okay. But they've been also backed by a couple of others. Bruno Mars has also sort of helped them to do it, and McFly.
So they must be pretty good then if they're getting backing by all these famous people.
Absolutely. Okay. And I have another Bruno Mars story, because I didn't recognise till recently I'd actually worked with Bruno Mars when he was 4 years old.
Oh.
And I was in Hawaii, and Bruno Mars, when he was 4 years old, used to do an Elvis Presley impersonation act. And I was invited one night to actually go and photograph this young boy of 4 years old and his sort of Elvis Presley act. And it syndicated this story out to 85 countries. So I think I've actually launched Bruno Mars' career.
Well done, Ian.
You see?
No, I hope you've kept all these photographs.
Well,
I know it was ages ago. But...
Do you know, strangely enough, we found something like about 100,000 of my old negatives.
Oh.
And you know, I've got a feeling, I think I remember seeing one of the envelopes with this young Elvis
Oh, brilliant. We
impersonator.
should dig that out and we can show it on the Chrissy B Show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's
Okay,
an
that will be an
exclusive.
exclusive, definitely. All right, so you're going to stay with us because we're going to go to a quick break. And then you visited somewhere quite special, Ian, and we'll be talking about that after the break and also get some more news from you. So do join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the show. Now, without further ado, let's go to our success story of the day.
Good afternoon, I'm Callum Milne. I'm the Manager and Director here at Llangoed Hall. Croeso, Llangoed. Welcome to my home.
The sun is shining this afternoon and I'm in a beautiful part of Wales. This is Ian Pelham-Turner for the success story for the Chrissy B Show. Today I'm at Llangoed Hall, the former home of Laura Ashley and her husband Sir Bernard Ashley. The success story is it is back to its glory days again.
Well, here we are in the morning room. This room is forming part of Llangoed, and Llangoed meaning holy meeting place. And this room was indeed a meeting place of sorts. It has been part of the original structure from 1632, and as you can see from the floor, we still have the original floor. In the walls, although we have papered over them and covered them, there are the original woodwork for the walls of the house. But this room is held many meetings in this particular place, and Hay Festival is a particular time that's great for meetings, and it plays host to people like Jane Fonda, Bob Geldof, Sting, and His Royal Highness Shah Farah Ibn of Iran has been here on a few occasions.
Llangoed Hall, nestling in the Brecon Beacons in North Wales, is the favourite venue of the royal family. Indeed, it's fast becoming their secret hideaway. Both Prince Charles and Camilla and William and Kate have all stayed there and have all written letters of recommendation which are now proudly shown in the hotel itself.
Success doesn't come easy, but it is absolutely tantamount and testament to my team. I'm surrounded by a wonderful team that give me the support that I need to be able to do it. We're fortunate enough to have the funds to be able to do it, but really it's all a lot of hard work, effort and planning. What I would say for anybody who is wanting to become into this industry is actually you have to be a people person, and that's a very underrated skill to be able to deal with the public. I mean, there's not so fickle as folk, as they always say up north.
I have found my new home. Isn't this fabulous? I knew I was always meant to have royal blood within me, and this has really brought it out. It's the most fabulous success story yet again. So for now, it's Ian Pelham-Turner for the Chrissy B Show, Sky 203, saying goodbye for now.
Ian, what was that about?
I thought that just absolutely emulated the whole sort of thing. It's a fabulous place, though.
Yeah.
It really is.
It looks amazing.
It's an amazing place, and it is. It's the hideaway. I mean, all the way around the house itself are letters from the royal family.
Oh, really?
Which is so very, very rare.
Yeah.
And the general manager actually is Charles's ambassador, tourism ambassador to Wales.
Wow.
He was appointed that recently as well. So they really do see this place as something very, very special.
Gorgeous.
It's definitely a
really
place
nice.
to
And that bedroom that I was in, it was the royal bedroom.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised you even left.
I know.
He's back in the studio with us after being
They had to
there.
prize me.
Okay, before we continue, let's just answer this question from a viewer, because as you know, I do try to answer a viewer's question, at least one every show. So this one's from Vanessa, and she says, my son seems really hyperactive and I just can't seem to be able to control him. I try to keep him occupied, pay him lots of attention, take him out, but it doesn't seem to calm him down. I'm a single parent and I feel like a failure. What would you do, Chrissy? Now, first of all, Vanessa, I think you're being way too hard on yourself. From what I hear, I'm not a parent myself, but from what I hear, it is a very difficult job even when there's two of you, but as you're saying, you're a single parent, so I'm sure you're doing the very best that you can. So first of all, won't be so hard on yourself. And I think it's worth actually taking your son to the doctor as well, because there may be some kind of medical condition there. It's not to sort of put doubts in your mind or anything, but if he's really hyperactive and you can't seem to control him, it sounds like you've tried everything that you can physically think of, then I think the next step is to actually take him to the doctor and just do some checks and just see, if there's anything there that he needs treatment for. It's no shame to do that. So I think, it's obvious that you need a bit of support, a bit of help there. So that, if I were in your shoes, that is definitely what I would do. But definitely don't be hard on yourself, because I'm sure you're doing a great job and it sounds like you're trying to spend time with him and give him lots of attention. So I would just take him to the doctor and just to see if everything's okay there, and get the support from there too. Okay, I hope that's helped you. And if you have a question for me as well and you'd like to know what I would do in your situation, please do email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. Okay, more news?
Yeah,
Something more exciting. We've got a few more minutes.
An unusual one was about the African grey parrot. And its owner took it for a walk, as you do, in the park in North London, in Hendon.
As you do, yeah.
In Hendon. And the parrot actually saved her life.
Oh.
She unfortunately got in a bit of a contretemps with a young man who, I don't know whether he tried to steal the parrot or whatever happened, but he did, unfortunately, something happened between him and her. And the parrot just went mad, squawking, flapping around, and the man ran off. But the parrot saved her life, which is great news.
No more guard dogs, just get a parrot.
I know, just get a parrot. They live for like
African,
60, African grey, I think.
African grey, okay.
And they live till about 60 or something. So
wow.
they're great pets. They're very bright.
Yeah.
But,
Talking of parrots, have you ever been to Richmond Park? It's
Oh,
absolutely
parakeets, isn't it?
full
Yeah,
of parrots there. Have you seen
absolutely.
it?
No, because
Not for a while.
they
What's going
escaped,
on?
didn't they, at one time, and
There's
actually sort of
loads of
started.
them.
And also the other thing you can be careful is the deer there, haven't you? Because there's a particular part of the season. In fact, it's this time of year now where you shouldn't go anywhere near the deer because they can attack
Do you know, I have a
as well.
story about that. So I have to tell you. I had some laser eye surgery, so my sister took me to the park, to Richmond Park, and we were sitting down. There were these deer in the distance, and we were just having a picnic. And I was supposed to be really careful about my eyes and everything because I just had the surgery the day before, and then. All of a sudden, there was this massive deer behind me, but the stag, just standing there, and she was going, oh my God, what do we do? And I said, give him the apple. So we just reached out, and he just took the apple from us. And I'm thinking, I've just had eye surgery. If you got aggressive or anything with those big antlers.
Well, it's strange.
Get away
But
safely.
it was fine, it was really friendly, but I've never seen them come up to anyone before.
No.
But
These things happen. I used to be a wildlife photographer. And I did a story once about a guy who actually played the bagpipes on a unicycle. And for some strange reason, what I thought would be a great idea to actually photograph him in the field that was adjacent to his house. So we went across over the stile into the field, started, with all the sort of the music going on. And then the distance was this herd of cattle. We thought it made it look very, very nice. And so after a little while, I turned my back to the cattle, and there he was, playing with the bagpipes, and we were sort of, and then all of a sudden there was this sort of this noise sort of coming towards us. And all of a sudden I noticed the guy with the bagpipes on the unicycle wasn't looking at me anymore, but he was watching what was coming up the hill. And apparently we got into a field full of bulls.
oh no.
So we're now racing up towards us at great speed. So I actually managed to, I was much younger and fitter in those days, I actually hurdled the stile. And then the next thing I see is as I'm hurdling the stile, over comes the unicycle, over comes the bagpipes, followed by the guy.
Gosh,
You really have to be careful.
You have to be careful when
Go on, this whole conversation because of a parrot. Should we go back on track?
Another sort of unusual story this week. I always like looking at market surveys. Mm-hmm. So there's one being done by the Global Lifestyle Market in America to say that pyjamas aren't being worn anymore in bed. Now for me, apparently we're into sort of the British especially now prefer to go au naturel into the bedroom rather than wearing their pyjamas. Now for me, I need my sort of granny blanket, as it's called. I need Teddy.
Now, but did they ask whether it was like singles or couples?
Well,
Does that make a difference?
I didn't. It didn't actually sort of say this.
Singles, wearing pyjamas.
It didn't actually say that, but apparently there's now a trend.
Okay.
And so don't invest your money in pyjamas.
Oh, I'm sure M&S will always sell them. All right, I think we're almost running out. Have we got time for one quick one?
Well, we can talk about all sorts of things tonight.
What about X Factor? X Factor's coming back onto our screen.
Absolutely.
So Simon Cowell, obviously back. Chosen Cheryl Cole, they've made up, they had a riff and everything, and now everything's sorted. But we don't know who the other two are going to be, and there's rumours it could be Rihanna, it could be...
Do you think?
Could be. Louis Walsh probably will be back, because I think Simon
he's part of the furniture, isn't he?
But,
really?
Ellie Goulding, possibly. Ellie Goulding, the singer. She's quite
And there's this wonderful story that's come out about Simon Cowell's office. His office is actually ensconced in the Sony building, right in the centre of the Sony building. And apparently he's had this secret door built where if he doesn't want to see someone, he can actually escape through it, and it just looks like the wall.
How often do we think he does that?
Oh, so nice. I'd love to have a secret door.
Imagine if he just escaped. Mad, isn't it?
Okay, well, that's it for today with the news. Thank you so much.
No problem.
It's really been great having you on. Really interesting and funny news as well. And we'll see you again next time.
Great.
And after the break, we shall be speaking to the lovely model trainer Boikanyo, and I've forgotten the surname because it's not up on the auto script anymore, but she'll tell us later. So we'll be speaking about her success and how she changed things around for her, because she did go through quite some difficult moments, and she'll be talking about her success after this break.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Now joining me on the sofa we have Boikanyo Phenyo. Hello.
Hello, Chrissy.
How are you, sweetie pie?
I'm good, thank you.
So good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So you've got a few titles, haven't you?
I have,
yes. Tell us some of the titles you have.
I've got the, first of all, Mrs. Commonwealth. And then I've also won awards, like the African Women in Women in Europe, and then African Achievers Awards.
Wow. Now, but this all didn't come easy, because you're sort of looking at her now and you see this beautiful woman sitting on the sofa and with all these titles, but you've been through quite a few things, haven't you? You didn't just get there just like that, did you? Could you want to take us first of all about from your childhood? What was your childhood like, and was it like a really nice one, or was it difficult? How was it for you?
Even though I wasn't unhappy, but it was a difficult childhood. It wasn't very happy. I had to work hard to succeed. I used to walk 11 miles to and from school.
Wow.
Yes.
11 miles?
11 miles.
Gosh.
So because of the distance, I started running.
Oh.
So and then I became athletic.
Oh, there you go. You see, look at the opportunity. Some people see that as a difficulty, but
exactly. Yes. I
something.
used that. Yes, and then I became competitive.
Yeah.
So the athletic part, because I entered races and then I won them at school, then this made me work harder to do well at school.
Okay.
So I did very well at school. I succeeded. I got my degree. I went to university, got my degree, and then I did my postgraduate in teaching, and then I started teaching, and then and then I did a whole lot of things.
Okay. So then, how did you get into the modelling as well then? Because I know you're a model trainer today.
Yes.
How did you get into that in the first place?
When I was teaching. When I started teaching, as a teacher, you get involved in lots of extracurricular activities. So I was in charge of the beauty queens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I used to take part in organizing beauty pageants and also dances. So I was in charge of the kids. So I got interested, and then I started doing it myself. And then as a teacher, you know, as the background, then I started model training.
Now, we've got a few pictures of Boikanyo, haven't we? I don't know if we can bring those up and you can maybe talk us through some of them. So where was this taken?
Yeah, that's in Portsmouth, Race for Life.
Okay.
Yes, I've been doing Race for Life for the past 2 years now. And yeah, so raising money for Cancer Research UK.
Okay. All right, let's see this one.
And this was taken last weekend, actually.
Oh.
I was a guest judge at Miss England Rugby.
Okay.
In rugby. So Mr. England was an MC. Yeah. So
Okay, let's see what else we
it
got.
was a privilege.
And this
With
one?
the Queen.
Oh,
Yes, I got
wow.
invited to Buckingham Palace, the greatest honor in my life.
That's been really exciting.
Oh my God, I'm very proud of that. Yes, very exciting, and you know, I loved the meeting the royal family. They're very nice people, the best. You know.
Brilliant.
Yes.
And tell us some of the, because obviously, as I said before, people looking at you, they see a successful woman. But what were some of the challenges that you faced along the way, and how did you overcome them?
Well, as a model trainer, the biggest challenge I face basically is the models themselves. You know, they come to the modeling world expecting so much. They think it's so easy, you know, they think after getting trained, you'll just get all these big opportunities and you'll be
Lots of money,
lots of money,
you know, all over the world.
It's not like that, you know, you've got to work at it, you know, you've got to actually make an effort in order to succeed. So I would say that's the biggest challenge so far with the people that I'm working with.
What about within yourself, though? Did you come across any difficulties, like maybe insecurities, or maybe thinking, is this really for me? Can I really do it? Did you ever go through anything like that?
Yes, that doubt, because when you're working with people, sometimes the negative people towards what you're doing makes you think twice, like, okay, am I in the right path? But the passion I've got for doing that always carried me through. And the inner voice, you know, that makes me, you know, succeed or makes me want to carry a project to finish, you know, help me in the process.
Okay, brilliant. We're going to talk to you in just a second, one more time, and we're just going to go to a video now of a recent, well, actually it's not recent, it was one of the first challenges I did. We'll revisit it, and then we're going to come back to Boikanyo and talk a bit more.
Okay.
Welcome everyone to the Challenge Chrissy segment on the Chrissy B Show. So this is where you guys at home get to choose a challenge for me every week. And this week, it's scuba diving. How are you, Moti?
Very excited.
Now I think you're quite an adventurous person, aren't you?
I am. I'm very adventurous. I call myself an adrenaline junkie. I love doing all these scary stuff, things that get your adrenaline pumping.
If you're part of the Chrissy B family, we're going to choose someone every week that's going to come along with me from our lovely viewers. So if you're not part of the Chrissy B family, you want to be, you can just go on the website chrissybshow.tv and register there for a chance to win one of these exciting trips. All right, so I'm looking forward to it. Are you, Moti?
Oh, I can't wait.
So let's go. I'm here with Steve of London Scuba, and he's one of the diving instructors here. So he's going to be telling us a bit about what a person can expect when they come here. So thanks for inviting us, Steve.
You're most welcome. Nice to have you. So yeah, the Discover Scuba Diving session, it's basically a 2-hour program. It's purely introductory, so it's designed to get people swimming around in the water, hopefully having as much fun as possible. It's getting you used to the new environment, kind of the sensation of the bubbles going up the side of your face, but making sure you're nice and relaxed at the same time. At the end of it, hopefully you'll go away having enjoyed the session and want to come back and do it again. Well, that's the plan anyway. We're very unique in that we're one of only a handful of dive centres in the whole of England with our own purpose-built facilities. We run lots of UK dive trips as well, so we go down to the south coast on weekends or go over to the Farne Islands, dive for the seals in Cornwall. We run Red Sea holidays as well, so we go out to Egypt. We've sent 3 trips out this year already. One just came back on Saturday. Everyone has an absolutely amazing time. Some of the best in the world.
Okay, so I can't wait to get started, Steve. Shall we go?
Let's do it.
Okay? Yeah? Lean forward, pop your face a sip of water, just have a couple of breaths.
Okay, the wrong way. I did it the wrong way. I think I did the wrong one. Is this one right?
Yeah.
Okay, I did the wrong one.
Sorry, I couldn't hear it.
If you take your regulator out, you're not going to be able to breathe, alright?
But I couldn't hear what happened when I need to fast.
So we've just completed our first scuba diving lesson in the lovely hands of Steve here. It was really a lot of fun.
He was great.
I have to admit, I was a little bit scared at the beginning because you have to kind of get used to breathing underwater, and I kept thinking I wasn't actually breathing when I was, because I wouldn't have been under the water that
I
long.
got it all wrong. I want to go into the open water.
Wait for Chrissy!
Yay! Well, that was great fun. So we've got a couple more minutes to speak to Boikanyo. So what did it mean to you to win those awards? Which one? Just remind the viewers which ones you won.
The greatest honor. I've won African Women in Europe and then African Achievers Awards, which I went to Ghana in February.
Yeah.
And it was my first time going to Ghana, and it
okay.
was a lovely, lovely experience.
Oh, did they receive you nicely there?
They did, yes.
Okay.
I enjoyed myself.
And what are your plans then for the future?
I would like to do more of what I'm doing, because this is my passion.
Yeah.
The beauty world fascinates me. So,
Really?
Yeah.
And do you have any final sort of words of advice for young girls wanting to get into modelling and things like that? What would you say to them?
The main advice, which I've already mentioned a little bit earlier, is modelling is not all about glamour and lots of money, or it's you've got to work at it. It's a job. Take it as a job like any other job, and it's not like after having your training you're going to find everything waiting for you. Yeah.
But just one final question I had as well. How do you keep, because a lot of young girls maybe when they get into modelling they get kind of carried away with everything.
Very easily.
How do you keep grounded and sort of be true to yourself and not get carried away, and how would you?
I think it's really up to how a person carries themselves.
Yeah.
Some people do know what they want, and they understand the industry, and they're able to control themselves.
Yeah.
But some people are just too young, or they're just too,
So it's good to have
they
someone
get carried.
training them
Yes,
and
yes.
like yourself.
Yeah. You've got to actually present yourself very well, because you become a role model. For example, a beauty queen, for example, she's got to be exemplary to other models.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, we've run out of time, I'm afraid, but thank you so much for coming on, and all the best with the future, with everything you're going to be doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so after the break, we're going to have on Maegan with Maegan's Makeup Corner just after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the show, and now it's time for Maegan's Makeup Corner. Hello, Maegan.
Hello, Chrissy.
How are you, my lovely?
I am very well, thank you.
And we have the lovely Sheila with us today, who's not going to say a word. Doesn't want to talk. So what we're doing today, Maegan?
Today, Maegan's Makeup Corner is going to show how to get color correcting on dark skin. So we have done Sheila's left side of her face here. And so we just wanted to show the color that you would color correct a keloid, which is the tissue that actually turns a darker pigment and kind of just sits there, and how to color correct that before you actually
This color
apply
it. Really?
Yeah, so it's like,
gosh, so I would have thought it would be like a dark,
it's
a much darker color.
It's called terracotta, yeah. Or maybe contrary, people think that it would be a lighter color to do that, but no, she's definitely got warm tones, so it is a warm color, and basically just pop it on the keloids and blend. So it's very, very little. So it's called terracotta. It's a skin-based mixer, and it's basically used for underneath the eyes, those dark circles as well, how to actually get that base even before applying your foundation.
We must do something on dark circles one week, Maegan.
Yes, wake up your makeup. Wake up your makeup. So also how to get that pigmentation color corrected as well, close to the lips. And on black skin, it tends to get darker on the outsides as well. So you can pop it on the outsides before you do your foundation. And Chrissy, we did last week contouring and highlighting for different. And what I wanted to mention is that with black skin, it tends to be oily. So when you're contouring and highlighting, you want to use powder.
Oh, okay.
To get that dewy look, you're going to be using something that I think is in everybody's price range, and if you don't have it, you can pop out and get it quite easily. Gold eyeshadow, as well as a copper eyeshadow, looks lovely. Sheila is wearing that color on her eyes, and she's also going to be wearing it as a highlighter. So you can just see how lovely, I can see in the camera how brilliant that is. And so we're just going to now pop on the highlighter, which is a powder, just under here. So you can see
Does that
how
make the cheekbones stand out more? Or
yeah,
like just...
it basically, well, it does what you want, is waking up, you know, those tired eyes, and just getting that chiseled cheekbone, that three-dimensional look. So basically, the shadow would be the dark brown shadow. Okay. So we're gonna pop that on to contour, as well as to contour here. And Sheila was asking me, you know, Maegan, I really have troubles with shine. What can I do before, you know, putting on my makeup, or just, you know, to stop that shine? And it's that mattifying primer, you know, that really tightens the pores, and it does.
So that goes on after the moisturizer, the primer?
Yes, yeah. Well, and especially, you know, do you need a moisturizer?
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you're producing a lot, you might want a combination type.
Oh, so it's better, like if you've already got oily skin, not to use
if
any.
It's, well, that's it, right? Because it's already producing that. So, you know, if it's dry, then yes.
Use it.
Yeah. So sometimes, you know, people think you have to apply moisturizer all over your face. Well, all over your face, is it dry? If it's not, then.
Done. Okay.
But so you can see here how defined that is, and just how bright that is. Now we're going to show you with that same copper that's on her eyes how to highlight that. Just brightening it up, and she's got that three-dimensional contouring and highlighting look. You know, we were mentioning that she might not want to put it in all the places. Like if she's going to get a natural shine there, we're not going to put another shimmer there, but just a shimmering eyeshadow in that coppery color. I'm not sure if you can get that on there. And so another thing that we thought was quite good that Sheila was saying was that many people don't know how to wear lighter lipsticks because they're afraid that it's actually going to look washed out or not match their lips. The pigmentation is naturally darker in Sheila's top lip, and you can see the natural pink just straight in the middle. So what we've done is we've actually filled in the top lip where that pigmentation is with the same color in the middle of her lip in the bottom. So that's that pink natural color. And what's that going to do, what that is going to do is going to neutralize her lip palette. And actually, that's a quite natural, nude, lovely look on her, as is. And so that's a good thing to mention as well. Again, naturally, dark brown, line the outsides there. But now, we have the ability to apply evenly a lighter lip shade, whereas if we never primed the lip, that dark pigmentation would just wash it out, and it would actually be two different colors on her lips, and it wouldn't be that flattering. So we chose a gold, because she's got such nice gold and copper, and it's turned out quite nice. So just the same as I was saying, Chrissy, when you want that extra pop, when you're putting on that highlighter, why don't you, as a base, pop on some concealer. Pop on some concealer right there and make it pop. That's the same with her lips. So if you want that to basically pop, you got to fill it in and have that base. So that's just this gorgeous gold that is even color on both her lips. Now she's ready for the town.
Yeah, that's just really nice. Ooh, Sheila. She doesn't want to say, we've got a smile out of her.
She does not speak. She just looks lovely and glowing. So she does have two different powders. So the highlighting powder, again, she can obviously, when she does get a little bit oily during the day, pop that on, and then she can set the rest, because oily skin the foundation tends to move. So you do want to set it. Okay, so if you are using that foundation on very, very oily skin, and people think, I always get crow's feet, and it always looks, if I put on concealer, it always makes them worse. Well, you're not setting the makeup, and it's actually falling into the crevice because your skin may be a bit oily. Right, okay. And so what it does is it actually accumulates there. So if it has done, before you've actually had time to set your makeup, make sure you pat it out. Pat out that makeup evenly, get it out of the creases, and then set that powder.
Okay, my lovely. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
very
you, Sheila,
welcome.
for being a lovely model for today. And you had
any questions from? Also, we had questions from the public.
We had one from Julie this week. Didn't we? Do you remember what she asked?
she was interested in correcting the pigment, but also she was wondering about makeup for mature ladies, which it will be our next segment.
Okay, so
thank you, Julie.
That's for Julie. So we'll be talking about makeup for the more mature ladies. Yeah, and maybe we'll get a more mature model on as well.
Absolutely, that would be fun.
And if you do have any questions actually for Maegan, you'd like to ask a makeup question, you can also email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv, where we have reached the end of the programme. So we'll see you again next time. And obviously, if you want more information about the programme and any of our guests tonight, you can also visit this website, chrissybshow.tv. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye for now. You got us lost for 2 hours in London.
It's not my fault.
It's your fault. You're supposed to be navigator. You take calls when we're at crucial moments.
Yay, we made it! Gosh, I can't believe it.
The Bob. The tent's moving, the tent's moving. No, that's what these are for. the handy spare ones from Starbucks. Ketchup from McDonald's. It's not a risotto, you don't have to keep stirring it, you should let it cook.
It's like soup.
Stop stirring it!
We should go on MasterChef, should we? We should start a cooking show.
Stop stirring, let it cook! Okay, stop stirring. Just obsessed with stirring. Stop stirring! Whites from KFC. Oh, it's a bit, oh no, oh, there's insects under there.
What is that?
We get a plate for the eggs.
I knew I was going to do that.
I put that on the barbecue by mistake.
Yeah, I can taste sand, like sandy dirt.